Shawnee, welcome back. So I'm actually getting ready to go into the office. I'm trying to go in more rather than working from home. I can really do either, but I do have some clients who are like, can we meet in person? I'm like, okay. So I'm just gonna get ready. I am going to use this Makeup by Mario eye prep and set. I feel a little jittery. Too much coffee? What's too much? And this has 2 creams and a powder, which I really like. I tend to use one powder, finish it up, or I'm sorry, one cream, finish it up, and then use the other one. So, update, it does seem like the Natasha Denona Golden palette is coming out, and I read the descriptions of the shades, and it seems like, well, first of all, what is it, like 9 of the shades can be found in the gold palette, and then the shimmers are her new formula. So I'm definitely, I mean, I wasn't going to get it anyway, but I'm definitely not going to get it because I do not enjoy her new formula. So I wonder what that means for me and Natasha. We might not go together no more. Okay. So, I was reading the news, and there was a store in Peru. It's like a sporting goods store, like a sports goods store. And they were robbed. They've only been open for like a couple months, and someone decided to rob them, which really upsets me. Like, dude, give small businesses a chance. So it was these 3 fools who decided to rob the store. I'm gonna go in with Pat McGrath's Divine Rose palette. I'm kind of feeling the special shade. Yeah. Okay, but let's go in with a matte first. I'll probably use, there are only 2 mattes in here, so I'll probably use both, this one and this one. So these fools decided to rob this little store that had only been open for a little bit of time because they don't have anything better to do with their time. And it was at like 3:30 in the morning. I guess that's a good time to rob a place. I don't know. I've never done it. So they go in and they're able to like cut the padlocks off of the back door. Sounds like this guy didn't have like an alarm. And they see all these sneaker boxes. Speaker. So if you've worked in like retail and stuff, you know that like a lot of times all the stock is in the back and you have to come in later or come in earlier or stay later so that you can open all the boxes and put the stuff out, blah, blah, blah. So they decide that they are going to steal several of these like big boxes of sneakers. Different brands, everything. And so, of course, you know, the store owner gets there at some point in the day and calls the police and is like, you know, I've been burgled. And the police get to the store. And maybe at the same time, the robbers are getting to their homes. And the surprise is they took only right foot shoes. They took shoes for only the right foot. 220 sneakers for the right foot. Apparently, they had been in that box for display. And so now the police are like, we're probably not going to find them because nobody's going to buy just a right pair shoe or a right side. You know what I mean? So now the thieves have 220 right shoes and the owner has the 220 left side. So he can't sell those. So everybody's losing in this situation. What I think, though, is that the police shouldn't assume that these folks aren't going to find somebody to purchase these shoes. I think they might. I really do. I mean, as soon as they do, I'm guessing it'll come up you know, that somebody will find out, well, yeah, there's someone who's just selling like the right side. Somebody gonna find out. But knowing that people will buy anything from anyone, somebody is gonna be like, you know what, I can't afford both sides real quick, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get the right one. I'm gonna bring it back to a style where I wear this shoe and like a different one. Somebody's gonna do it. Somebody's guaranteed gonna do it. I don't put anything past anybody. I think y'all are being presumptuous. Somebody is gonna buy those shoes. Somebody gonna buy them. I'm 100% certain. But could you imagine getting back to your house with your friends? You're like, hey, we got these 2 boxes. You open them and you're like, wait a minute. Oh. Like, y'all got the other sides over there? No? Damn. Huh. If that isn't an epic fail, I don't know what is. Like, epic fail. Now, literally, like I said, somebody gonna buy them. But if they don't, what are you gonna do with 220, like, it's not even pairs, 220 right foot shoes? I don't... Like, you failed, okay? You had one job, and that was to steal these daggone shoes. You got into the store by cutting the padlocks. You got out the store with half a shoe. Like, I wouldn't tell nobody. No. Like, you know, we'll try again. Now, another story I read. I've never heard anything like this. So in Colombia, there's a doctor, Dr. Diego Naranjo. Now, he's some kind of surgeon, okay? And he had a patient come in for a vasectomy. I don't know if you know much about vasectomies. I mean, I don't know much about vasectomies. I know a little bit, though. I know what they do, and I know what's supposed to happen, blah. And so, it seems like this man and his partner, I think a wife, they don't want any more kids. I don't know how many they have originally, but they don't want any more kids. So Dr. Naranjo goes ahead and snips, and he's like, hey, dude, we don't know the patient's name, HIPAA. Does Colombia have HIPAA? I don't know. Hey, dude, don't even worry about using contraceptive no more. You don't have to, okay? So, Rose, what you doing? Anyway. I'm going to go in with shade 9 of my blurring balm, and I'm going to use the Face 2 brush, both from Danessa. So he and his wife, presumably, they're like, boom, 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 here we go, let's enjoy ourselves, we ain't gonna have no kids, and the wife gets pregnant. Oopsies. So the dude goes back to the doctor, and he's like, Doc, like, you said, like, why is this happening? I don't, like, what? Come to find out, the vasectomy was not complete. But what I do know is vasectomies are not 100% foolproof. They're not. I don't know why they thought it was. I don't know. I don't know. So the couple decides to sue the doctor because they're like, you gave us false information and now we got a baby. So they go to court and the judge sides with the couple. So the doctor has been considered responsible for this unplanned pregnancy. The doctor who performed the surgery. And no, the doctor is not the husband. Like, the doctor didn't give himself a personal vasectomy. The doctor is just the doctor. So the judge is like, you're responsible too because the vasectomy didn't take. And here's the thing. The husband has... Hold on, let me get some concealers. The husband has bilateral hearing loss. So he has to use a hearing aid, and he just gets like really ill a lot of the times, like headaches and, you know, vomiting, all kinds of stuff, just because that can happen with bilateral hearing loss. So he can't really work. So they said basically that the doctor is putting them in like financial and emotional like distress. So the judge is like, well, I'm gonna remedy that. And the good old doctor is gonna have to pay you $20,000 in moral damages. Never heard of that. $13,000 in legal fees and $32,000 in child support. So that's right now, right? Here's the thing. The baby was born in 2012. The baby was born in 2012. So he doesn't have as much child support to pay because, you know, the baby's on her way to 18. Like, so I'm trying to figure out why y'all wait so long. Wait, you waited 10 years. Like, I feel like they're probably like, you know what? We don't even feel like paying for this girl no more. Like, let's go ahead and see if somebody else could do it. Like, y'all are real shady. Y'all are, I would have kept it to myself. I would have kept it to myself because that baby's going to grow up and she's going to be like, hey, mom and dad, like, what's the story? And come up with something else. Don't tell that baby. Come up with something else. I mean, there are people who have had vasectomies and it didn't take, right? I mean, I think you just got to live with that. But what I don't understand is how... I mean, is the doctor responsible? Do you think the doctor is responsible? Let me know. Because I guess I could see how. Did he not have it in his paperwork? You know, like the practice policies and the, like, informed consent and stuff. Like, he didn't have it in there. And he was just like, hey, bud, you don't need that contraceptive no more. Go forth and be merry. He was merry, all right. I don't know if they had other kids. I don't know. But all I know is you've been taking care of this child for 10 years and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? He should have been in on this deal. So now the doctor's got to pay. I don't know if he's going to appeal. I have never heard that. That's in Colombia. Would that fly here in the Americas? First of all, can't even talk about reproductive health of women because we don't get to decide. I don't know. I would feel some kind of way if that was that doctor. I didn't have nothing to do with this business. I didn't create this child. Like, you did. I feel like that judge probably, like, something happened with that judge. He was burned or something in some way because I have never heard such a thing. I've never heard such a thing. I mean, but I guess you can sue people for not getting the outcome you expected or getting an outcome that you didn't want. Yeah, but he's gonna have to pay money. for, like, what do I get in exchange? Is this my daughter now? Like, yeah, like, give her here, I guess. I don't know. And they have the doctor's name all out there, but they don't have the patient, of course. So Dr. Naranjo is going to have to pay for this baby that he had nothing to do with. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that the doctor is responsible. Because in some ways, you know, the man can't work, and so that is going to put a financial strain on the family, especially if they weren't, I don't know. I just don't know how people decide to sue. And obviously, I'm not doing it correctly because it seems like you can sue for everything, and I have yet to find something that I can sue for. Rose is down there doing something. I don't know what. Now in Italy, there was some sort of like drug operation going on where somebody was selling drugs. And the police got a tip like this is going on and y'all might want to check it out. But they couldn't figure out where the drugs were being sold, like who was selling them. I'm going to go in with the Danessa low lighter in Off the Grid. I'm actually going to use that sort of like a bronzer. Got this idea from Giselle. So the police decide we're going to stake out this barber shop because we kind of feel like Home Dude has something to do with it. 55-year-old barber. And he does end up being arrested. Here's the thing. One of the officers saw that there were a whole bunch of men going in and out of the barber shop. That's not uncommon. The thing is, they were mostly bald and beardless. So the police are like, that's curious. I mean, they could be getting something else shaved. You know, so again, a little presumptuous. But they decide that they're going to go ahead and check out Home Dude. Come to find out, yup, he's the one. He's the one selling the drugs. And they said in the story, like, sometimes the men would get trims. And I'm like, what are they trimming? I mean, there are other places of hair on the body. But you didn't think about, I'm going to have all of these bald, beardless men coming in here just for a little bit. Like, not super long. And nobody's going to, like, bat an eye at that. So, of course, he had the drugs. He had, like, a couple grams of cannabis, 100 grams of cocaine, and 4 like precision scales and some packing material. He really didn't think he was gonna get caught. He really didn't. He really didn't. He thought he had he was like, listen, I got this. I'm gonna do some work, and at the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and sell these bad boys. Popo ain't never gonna know. And I always wonder, who be selling these people out? I feel like it had to be a like disgruntled customer. That's real big, bad, and bold. I'm using the Blurring Balm Blush in Rosé and Brunch. And I've been using the Danessa brushes with my Kitco. Nobody thought, you know what, is this gonna be a little suspicious, guys? Like, look at us. Not one single tuft of hair on our heads between all of us, but we going to the barbershop. Oh, and I forgot to say about the shoe store thieves. There's CCTV and they left fingerprints. It's just a whole lot of not smart happening in these stories. Except for the doctor. I don't know. I feel some kind of way about the doctor. I don't know. I would appeal. Because that's an interesting sentence. I feel like that could cause just so much drama and trauma to that little girl. I don't know. Do y'all know that story of Dahlia DiPolito? Pretty well known. She hired a hitman to off her husband. But of course, like every story where somebody hires a hitman, the hitman went to the police and reported them. And they like staged the hit. But people don't learn. Especially this 67-year-old woman in Russia. So for some reason, this lady, she wants her 48-year-old daughter killed so that she could have the daughter's apartment. I don't know if this is some like super special apartment. Not that that would make it better. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the daughter wouldn't let her move in. I'm not quite sure. All I do know is she told her friend, a close friend, and was like, you know what? I really just need to take this girl out. I really just need to take her out because then I can move into this apartment. So the friend was like, oh, I know somebody that'll do it for a fee. And the pensioner was like, oh, bet, put me in contact. So the friend put her in contact with the potential hitman. And homegirl is like, I'll give you $1,040 to do this. They met in a park. Now, instead of going ahead and planning said murder, the guy goes to the police. And he's like, hey, this lady trying to kill her daughter so she can have this apartment. Y'all might want to get on that. And so they're like, okay, we need you to pretend to go through with it. So the police are now in on it. They tell the daughter. I mean, that's pretty much going to ruin your relationship with your child. They tell the daughter, and they're like, we need something of yours to provide as proof. So they get one of her bags or something. So home dude goes back to the mom. And it's like, here's your daughter's bag. This is proof that I killed her. I feel like I would just need a little bit more proof than that. You could have just stole her bag. I don't believe you. Like, I just need a little bit more proof. But homegirl thought that was good enough. And so she went and transferred the funds. And then she went and got arrested. Could you imagine? You don't even have a good reason to want to take me out. You just want my apartment? Like, dude, maybe we could have struck a deal. Like, wow. I don't know the nature of the relationship between the mom and the daughter. I mean, now I assume it's not going to be good, but I couldn't even imagine, like, we couldn't come up with something, girl. Like, dang, you had to live. And then I'm only worth $1,000. No, I'm sorry, $1,040. Oh, like, there are so many levels of disrespect right now. Like, how dare you? How dare you? I mean, the worst is that she wanted to kill her. But also, like, that's all I'm worth to you is $1,040? That's less than the rent. Like, I'll be upset on so many levels. So many levels. Like, how dare you? I go in with this liquid lipstick from Monet. It's in the shade Kiss Me. I just... I'm real upset about it. And I hope I get my bag back. Is it going into the evidence room? Like, that is so shady. Now, that was in Russia. But why don't we bring it on down to Riverside, California? There was a 47-year-old pastor, Samuel Davalos Pasillas. He didn't like the man his daughter was dating. I don't know if they're still dating. I don't know. So he decided that he was going to hire some hitmen. The pastor wanted to hire some hitmen. He don't care about the oath he made to the Lord. He don't care. But maybe he was like, I'm not going to do it myself. I'm just going to invite someone else to do it. And I'm going to pay them $40,000. Which I feel like is a little bit more appropriate than the $1,040. So the boyfriend is just sitting in his car having some time to himself. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was eating a salad or he went and got in and out. I'm not quite sure what Home Dude was doing. All of a sudden, this car pulls up to him and they just shoot into his car. Now, the boyfriend survived because he managed to drive himself to the hospital. Drive himself to the hospital after the car drove off, the car with the gunman. And now the pastor, like 5 months later, they figured it out. And he has been arrested and charged with orchestrating a murder for hire. They found one of the hitmen, but they still looking for the other. Mind you, these are all people who are like old enough to know better. The mom was 67. This pastor is 47. And I think one of the hitmen in Riverside was like 55. I'm sorry, like we would no longer have a relationship, parent. Obviously, you didn't care, though. The mom didn't care. But I'm wondering if the pastor thought, like, this will improve our relationship because she's not going to be dating Home Dude no more. I wonder what was wrong with the guy. I mean, I've seen parents try to just talk to their child about it and just be like, fine. You know? But these folks took a different approach. So here is the finished look. I am going to head into the office now. And yeah, that's it. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about these stories, and happy Pride Month. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.